Thank you for joining in, everyone. It's Politics Today on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimberley. I'm not alone on the show today.
I'm Imana Amawe. You'll see me just in a moment. Well, there I am. Thank you for joining in. Interesting.
Well, we're going to be driving you through this half hour into the latest that's happening in the world of politics. Let's begin now with the political roundup. Well, let's begin with reaction to the death of the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Mr. James Ocholi, who died in a ghastly car accident on the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway on Sunday alongside his wife and son. The presidential villa has been in a sober mood as more reactions continue to pour in following the death of the minister. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, describes him as a fabulous human being and one of the friendliest in the cabinet, while the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, describes the death as a terrible tragedy. He says, as a man active member of the Federal Executive Council, the late Ocholi will be accorded the full honors when the council sits on Wednesday. He said the president, Mr. Barrister Ocholi, who he reposed implicit confidence in because of the role he played in the presidential election that brought President Buhari to power.
And still staying with stories from the Aso Villa, former Lagos Deputy Governor Adejoke Orelope Adefulire is now President Muhammadu Buhari's senior special assistant on sustainable development goals. Mrs. Orelope Adefulire served as Deputy Governor of Lagos State in the last administration. She worked with Mr. Babatunde Fashola in his second term. She has also served as Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation in Lagos State. And the Governor of Niger State, Mr. Abubakar Bello, will proceed on a medical leave to the United Kingdom.
All right, that's our second the story there, away from the Aso Villa. The Governor of Niger State, Governor Bello, will proceed on a medical leave, according to a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Malam Jibrin Indasi. The Governor left on to keep dates with his doctors in London. Is said to have earlier in the week informed the State Executive Council of his intention to proceed on medical vacation. The governor is also expected to meet with some investors in the United Kingdom in continuation of his drive for investors to the state. The statement also reveals that his deputy, Alhaji Ahmed Mohamed Ketso, will be in charge while the governor is away. And now to a major topic of the day. When the anti-frivolous petition bill was first raised and sponsored by Senator Ibn Nala, some portion of that bill generated loads of outrage from social media users. The fear of a plan of politicians and public office holders to gag users.
Yes, indeed. The sponsor of the bill was on our flagship program, Sunday Politics, some time ago, where he defended the intention of the proposition.
Well, first, let me tell you that you are wrong to say that there is a bill in the National Assembly, particularly in the Senate, the one I have sponsored, that is called a social media bill. That arose from misinformation. Like I have said, and I keep on saying, in view of the provision of Section 24 of the Cybercrime Act, the National Assembly has no business whatsoever doing a bill that is called the social media bill. That Section 24, if you read it, provided for 7 years imprisonment for anybody who even annoys somebody by posting something on social media. What we have before the National Assembly and before the Senate, which I sponsored, is frivolous petition prohibition bill. And I still believe, and I have maintained that position, that this country at this level of our history needs that bill seriously, if we must be taken serious as a very serious nation. And this is not new in other jurisdictions. And then when you talk about a lot of people have criticized it, I laugh again. Look, always take into account those who are coming to say something about anything. Take the entire country into consideration. We are 180 million Nigerians. Are you now telling me that more than half of us are against that bill?
Well, that's Senator Ibn Naala there. But at a social media event in Lagos a few days ago, the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, categorically stated that the bill is going nowhere.
As far as I'm concerned, we're all on the same side. It is like any bill, it goes through processes. I'm sure there are many bills that some of the contents of those bills will not even pass second reading. What I want to reassure you is that I personally strongly believe that there is a role of the social media platform in our governance. I've talked, and that is the background I've given. You've helped in the election, you've helped in improving governance, so I don't think there's anybody that in anyone will want to ensure that you don't play that role. Yes, there are, as I say, those are the sacrifices. There's no perfection. Any group, whether it's a group of politicians, you see good ones and you see bad ones. And I'm sure in the social media, you see those that are responsible and you see those that are irresponsible. But I think what is important for us is always let's focus on the bigger picture. Don't let those other issues distract us. That anti-frivolous bill is going nowhere. It's dead on arrival. It's not, doesn't need you to even, if you even didn't participate, it will go nowhere. Because everybody is very involved now in what happens in government, at the parliament. I'm sure, again, I go back to this, when the parliament used to be here in Lagos, I'm sure a lot of people didn't even know what happened in the sessions. But now we're opening it up. Both on some of our Twitter and our Facebook, you can know what's happening even before the papers find out. You guys, and that is why you can contribute on bills or your opinions on some of those issues.